It was supposed to be a joyful weekend in the great outdoors. The Wilson family, eager for an escape from the city's chaos, had packed their bags and headed for the serene wilderness of North Carolina. The lush green forest, the scent of pine, and the distant sound of a flowing stream set the perfect backdrop for their adventure. Little Noah, only 5 years old, was the heart of the family. Curious, playful, and always eager to explore. His parents, Sarah and Daniel, kept a watchful eye on him, but in the vastness of the woods, it only took a moment of distraction for everything to change. On the second afternoon of their camping trip, Noah wandered off while playing near the riverbank. One moment he was there, laughing and picking up pebbles, and the next, he was gone. His parents called out his name, their voices growing frantic as the minutes turned to hours. The sun began to set, casting long shadows across the forest floor. Panic set in. Sarah's voice cracked as she shouted her son's name into the endless sea of trees. Daniel ran in every direction, desperate to find any trace of his little boy. The search party, consisting of park rangers and volunteers, combed the forest with flashlights. But as the night deepened, hope started to wane. Noah was alone, deep in the forest. His tiny legs had carried him far, further than he even realized. He was cold, hungry, and scared. The towering trees around him felt like giants, their twisted branches reaching for him like claws. Every rustle of leaves, every distant howl sent shivers down his spine. He clutched his small jacket tightly and tried not to cry. The forest, which had seemed so inviting just hours before, now felt like an intimidating and hostile world. His tiny voice echoed through the trees, but no one heard him. He stumbled over roots and rocks, his tiny feet aching from the unrelenting terrain. He didn't understand how far he had walked or how lost he truly was. The only thing he could think of was his parents' faces, how their smiles had made the woods feel safe and full of wonder. But now, everything felt like a blur. Just when fear was about to take over, something emerged from the darkness. A massive black bear. Noah froze. The creature was enormous, its dark eyes gleaming under the moonlight. He had seen bears before, in storybooks, at the zoo, but never this close. He should have been terrified, and yet something about this bear felt different. Its presence wasn't menacing. It wasn't aggressive. It was calm. The bear sniffed the air, then slowly walked toward him. Noah, unsure of what to do, didn't move. His little heart pounded as the bear stopped just a few feet away. It huffed softly, then, shockingly, lay down beside him. The boy watched, wide-eyed, as the bear nestled close, its thick fur warm against his cold skin. That night, the bear didn't leave Noah's side. As the temperature dropped, the thick-furred creature curled around the shivering boy, providing warmth against the biting cold. When Noah whimpered, the bear let out a low, soothing rumble, as if to say, "You're safe." For 2 whole days, the bear stayed with him. It led him to a small stream where he could drink water, and when Noah grew too tired to walk, the bear allowed him to rest beside its massive body. It never acted aggressively, never tried to harm him, only watched over him like a silent guardian. The bear even nudged him when he drifted off to sleep, keeping him close. The bear seemed to have a deep understanding of Noah's needs. It would often push through the thick brush to find food for the little boy, bringing him berries or nuts. Even though the bear didn't consume them, it appeared to know they would be nourishment for Noah. When the forest grew darker, the bear would gently nudge him forward, guiding him through the woods as if it had a purpose, one greater than just survival. On the second night, as Noah lay curled up beside the bear, he heard strange sounds in the distance. The forest seemed to come alive with the nighttime noises of rustling leaves, distant howls, and the occasional crack of a tree branch. Despite the darkness and the unknown, Noah felt a strange sense of peace. The bear's warm, comforting presence filled the cold air, and for the first time in what felt like forever, he didn't feel alone. He had the feeling that the bear was watching over him, a quiet protector in the wilderness. As the days went by, Noah began to notice the bear's strange routines. It would roam the forest at times, but it always returned, making sure Noah was never left unguarded. At one point, when Noah was thirsty and too tired to walk, the bear led him through a patch of dense trees to a hidden pool of water, where he drank his fill. The water was cool and refreshing, and Noah felt a wave of relief wash over him. It was like the bear knew exactly where to find safety in the vast wilderness. On the third morning, after 2 days of survival, Noah felt his body growing weaker. The small ration of food the bear had gathered for him had been enough to keep him going, but his strength was dwindling. He longed for the warmth of his family, for the smell of home-cooked meals, and the comforting embrace of his mother. Yet, as he gazed up at the bear, he felt an unspoken connection. This bear, this mighty creature, was all that stood between him and the dangers of the wild. Noah spoke softly to the bear, as though it could understand every word. "I miss my mommy," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. The bear looked down at him, its large eyes filled with a gentle understanding. It nuzzled him softly with its massive head, as if telling him that it would stay by his side, no matter what. Then, on the third morning, a miracle happened. A rescue helicopter, scanning the dense forest, spotted something unusual. A little boy curled up beside a massive black bear. The pilot couldn't believe his eyes. He immediately radioed the search team, and within an hour, Noah was safely back in his mother's arms. Tears streamed down Sarah's face as she clutched her son. "How did you survive out there, baby?" she sobbed. Noah, exhausted but unharmed, simply said, "The bear kept me safe, Mommy." The rangers were stunned. Black bears were usually shy but unpredictable, yet this one had protected a human child, watched over him like its own cub. It was a rare, almost unbelievable act of kindness in the wild. Noah's story spread like wildfire, making headlines across the country. Scientists debated the bear's behavior, and animal experts tried to understand what had driven the creature to care for a lost child. Was it maternal instinct, a moment of extraordinary empathy, or simply a random act of kindness? Whatever the reason, the world couldn't help but marvel at the incredible bond between boy and beast. But for Noah and his family, there was no need for explanation. They knew the truth. Sometimes, even in the wildest places, kindness exists in the most unexpected forms. And for one little boy, a bear had been his guardian angel. In the years that followed, Noah would often tell the story of the bear that saved him. As he grew older, the details of the bear's immense size and kind eyes would fade, but the feeling of safety, the warmth of its presence, would remain forever in his heart. When Noah became a teenager, he felt the need to return to the forest where he had been rescued. With his parents, he made the journey back to the place where his life had been saved. As they stood in the forest, Noah looked out into the trees, imagining the bear's towering figure moving silently through the woods. He never saw the bear again, but he knew, deep down, that the bear was out there, still watching over him. He brought his own children to the same spot many years later, telling them the story of the bear that had kept him safe. As he spoke, his voice filled with emotion, and his children listened intently, wide-eyed, as if they too could feel the presence of the gentle protector who had once watched over their father. Noah hoped that they too would believe in the magic of kindness, the power of nature, and the idea that sometimes the greatest protectors come in the most unexpected forms. For the Wilson family, the forest was no longer just a place of wilderness. It had become a sacred place, a symbol of hope, courage, and the deep, unspoken bond between humans and animals. It was a place where the past and present intertwined, where love and nature's spirit could heal even the most broken hearts. Noah's story continued to inspire countless others to appreciate the untamed beauty of nature, to recognize the power of unexpected friendships, and to believe that even in the most terrifying moments, help can come in the most surprising forms. The bond between boy and bear would live on forever, a testament to the wild kindness that sometimes appears when least expected. It was a reminder to all of us that even in the darkest of times, there's always a flicker of light, a beacon of hope waiting to guide us through, no matter the odds. If you want to hear more heartwarming and emotional stories like this, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Join us in celebrating the power of kindness, compassion, and the incredible connections we share with the world around us. We hope these stories remind you of the beauty and strength that can be found in the most unlikely places.